million. And on top of it, even though we're almost back to pre-pandemic levels at say 6.3 billion box office for just the China market, Hollywood is only representing about 10% of that. And if you cut back to 2019, one single movie, the last Avengers movie, did almost the same amount as every single film that has been released by Hollywood in the China market this year. A challenge where China wants to get up to world-class speed in all industries, and part of doing that is to implement things that are favorable to the industries locally there.
Worked on behalf of Americans, not only because it technically made more money out of China off of their consumer base and brought it to the U.S., but it also spread our influence into that country, a country we're trying to get more like the West. So that mission was what
tries to get in that market is massive. And if you extrapolate that to all other sorts of businesses, you can see why American businesses do have a dilemma.
The reason something like this is so important and why it applies to any industry that's trying to break into the Chinese market.
Well, one of the issues is, and in fact, many of us in the LA community went to the 50th anniversary.
And whether or not you think he would be tough on China as an ambassador.
Well, look, there's nobody more qualified than probably Bob Iger to handle that job. The big question is whether he can remove conflicts that the U.S. Asia Institute, which is purely diplomatic. There's no sides that we take. It's literally about fostering conversation between the two countries. And that glue, just keeping that process going no matter what kind of turmoil or tense relations are going on, is so important.
Well, look, that's a ripple effect from 1997, where we had Red Corner, 7 Years in Tibet, and Kundun all come out, and we still see.
C'est que les films sont produits avec l'aval du Parti communiste chinois.
Where the Chinese Communist Party says we don't like
this.
Iron Man 3 opened this summer. Did fan-friggin-tastic business.
Yes.
Made about $125 million in China.
To be a reset in the way the U.S. companies work with China, and that's obviously something that we're starting to look at as a country moving forward. In fact, I was talking to one of the House reps that's involved with the China Task Force this week. China is probably the most important market outside of the United States, and next year it will probably be the most important market, which means it will be the largest box office generator around the world, including that of the United States.
On a Dove to Hawk scale, I'm probably a 6, so I am hawkish, but I'm not one for decoupling because I believe that's completely unrealistic. And in fact, to decouple the tangled web we've created over the past 40 years would probably involve a kinetic war, which is something nobody on this earth should want.
They don't want anybody talking about Taiwan. They don't want anybody talking about Hong Kong now. They definitely don't want anybody talking about human rights or Xinjiang province issues. And now the studios are aware of this, and they won't even embark on the development of projects that touch the studio side of things is absolutely about as close to hitting lightning in a bottle twice every time they do it. It's unbelievable. And just working alongside them and seeing how that machine worked, you do feel like, having been an insider, they're a fantastic entity to bet on, even with all this disruption going on in the Hollywood ecosystem.